Hi guys, this episode is sponsored by Next Block Expo, the blockchain festival of Europe. I am super excited to have them as a sponsor. They're having their 5th edition happening in Warsaw on the 19th and 20th of March, and I will be there personally, and I would be super happy to meet you all there. Right now, happy listening! Hi everyone, welcome to Just Asking, where I'm asking 5 questions to interesting women in Web3. Today my guest is Dayana Aleksandrova. She's a content creator and all-time boss lady, and she's also my fellow scholar at SheFi. Welcome Dayana, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm super excited to have you. I'm gonna try and make this a quick one like all of my interviews. The first question is, what is Web3 to you?
Web3 to me is all about freedom because for as long as I can remember, we have been told what to do, exactly how to do it, from the way that we interact with our money to the way that we interact with each other across different borders. As someone who was born in Eastern Europe and has lived globally in many different countries and continue to travel, freedom is very, very important to me, and so is equality. So to me, Web3 and blockchain technology is the way that we get there. And I think that is so, so important for us to keep building the space and to keep fighting for our rights so that we can not only survive, but also thrive for generations to come.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we always struggle with this issue. Our parents asking us, what exactly are you doing? What is Web3? How would you explain it to your mom or maybe a child if you want to?
I would say, Mom, I work at Bitcoin. No, just joking. But I would say that I work in what's becoming the new industry for borderless finance, and I help build an industry where we're in full control of our money, our information, and our privacy. And I think that a good example, a good analogy to give to a parent would be when online shopping became a thing in the late 1990s, early 2000s. My mom, and maybe your mom too, and for anyone watching, was very skeptical to put their credit card information in a website on the internet. It was scary, it was confusing. But then a few years down the line, it became obvious that this is the way that we do things now. And so I would explain that using a wallet and being on the blockchain is the same as moving from a physical store paying with cash to an online store on your computer paying with a credit card. Is just the next level in a series of steps leading toward our evolution as society.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's always bringing it back down to the use case, right? So,
That's
I
right.
mean, for people not in the space, it might seem like it's something really difficult to understand. And the cryptography, like, what is it? People are always, maybe sometimes a little bit skeptical. But I think like the main thing about the technology is actually that it's very safe, and that your data, once is in a blockchain, nobody can tamper with it.
Mhm.
It's immutable. And this word is being repeated, and a lot of people I'm talking with who are outside of this industry, and they're just like, wow, it's so fascinating because you're so excited about it, but we
Yeah.
don't really understand why, like what's wrong with Web 2, like what's wrong with the internet that we all use. This is important for creators, especially because we do something, we put it out on the internet, and when we don't get anything back from it, like all of
Mhm.
our information, all of our content, all of our creativity belongs to a company, and they can do whatever they want with it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so you've been creating on Lens, me too, and yeah, this is also such a nice platform for people to use, right? And it's like Instagram, and it's, you don't have to explain the whole blockchain technology behind it, but maybe you can tell a little bit about Lens, like how is it?
Exactly. I think that's such a good example. I joined Lens officially and started posting on August 9 of 2024. And in 86 days, I had gotten my first 5,000 followers. In the
Wow.
process, I was able to post whatever I want. So number one, I didn't have to think about if anything was Instagrammable or overly polished or pretty. I didn't have to agonize over the captions that I post. I just posted pictures of my coffee, pictures of me taking a walk, etc. And in the process, I gained followers and I started receiving crypto. So Lens is a new way of social media where you actually retain the ownership of your data and can receive what's called tips from other creators on the platform. You can use it via a number of different apps. The one that I use is called Orb, O-R-B. You can find it on App Store or Google Android. And it looks exactly like Instagram, but it has more and better functions. So let's say that I post a picture of my morning coffee. Somebody might decide to send me $1 in USDC as a tip, or maybe some bonsai token, whatever that is. And, in the process, I feel really good and I want to keep creating because I make some money. The money is mine to keep. I could give it to other creators. I could invest it into things that you can buy inside the app, such as stickers, which is a very new and exciting update. And I think that it's so refreshing how you can just grow a community so quickly by just being yourself and not overthinking your content. So I think that this really is the future of social media. And if you ask me what my favorite app is in Web3, I would definitely say Orb by Lens Protocol. I think that is something that everyone should get involved with.
Okay, that is so cool. I mean, I'm also on Orb, and I'm posting my running and my exercise. That is something that keeps me motivated. And I
Yes,
also love that, like if I go work out and somebody is like, amazing, here is 5 bonsai for going to work out. And
exactly.
especially right now when I'm like in Poland and the weather is just not the best, although we do have really, really nice autumn, and we did have a lot of beautiful days, and I was so grateful that I could be here because I used to spend so much time in Singapore and in Asia, where there was no autumn, and now I get to wear different clothes and just
Yeah.
enjoy autumn. So I also love that. But okay, let's move to the next question, and get a little bit more personal about your story. So tell us, how did you hear about Web3? Like, why did you decide to join? And why are you continuing to stay within the industry?
Oh God. So I have this really annoying boyfriend. His name is Jay. And the reason why he is so annoying is because he has been involved in crypto since the days of the Silk Road. And even though he took breaks here and there, like most people do, he has been investing for a long time. Now, before I got involved with crypto, I used to invest on the stock market and I had a good understanding of finance. But I never really thought about crypto because it used to, in my mind, have this idea that it's just a couple of bros named, Chad, Matt, Pat, etc., that are just playing with some virtual money and flexing Ferraris and Lamborghinis online. So
Yeah.
Jay was working for a media company in 2023, and he took me to an event called Non-Fungible Conference in Lisbon. And as soon as I entered, I was just shocked at how friendly and amazing and creative everybody was. So the reason why I got into crypto was actually for the people. And I remember feeling like I didn't know if I belonged there because I was a copywriter for 10 years. I was working for big conferences in Web 2. I was on the marketing side, but I didn't really know what the blockchain was or how it operated. So after attending that event, I said to Jay, I'm going to join this industry. I'm going to try and I'm going to educate myself, which led me to discovering SheFi, where both you and I are members. And in a couple of weeks, I learned all the fundamentals of how the tech worked. And then I just went nuts going to all these different events. So in 2024, I believe that I've done about 8 or 9 events where I've spoken either as an MC or a panel moderator. And the reason why I stay in crypto is that it feels like it's a really wonderful community. Of course, some might argue that, we've got, not everything's perfect. We've got our Chad, Mats, and Pats for sure. But I think that it's a really close knit community that is being glued together by the same idea and the same mission. And I have never had more fun in my entire career, not even when I was a travel writer and literally being paid to go to Costa Rica and see sloths up close and personal. I have had the most fun ever in my career working in crypto. And I think there is so much room for growth, especially for women who are joining the space because the industry is changing. I think communities like SheFi, the Bear Baddies, Boys Club are leading the way for women to be more visible in Web3. And I'm just so excited to explore these opportunities and to see growth that would have taken me 5 to 10 years in Web 2 that has happened over the course of 12 months in Web 3. So if you're still curious, if you're on the fence, I highly, highly encourage you to join us and stay in the space.
Amazing. Oh my God. You are like going forward with all of my questions because the next question was going to be what dApps are you actually using? You said Lens is your favorite app. So maybe you have any other apps that you want to share that you're using every day that are making your life easier and people might not be aware of them.
Sure. So I think it really depends on what you do in Web3. I have a couple of different wallets that I use every day to see where the markets are. I really love the family wallet by Avara. I think that it has amazing user experience. I think that it's really cute and you can totally customize it. For exchanges, I do like Uniswap and I own a number of their t-shirts, hats, their merch. And it's not an app necessarily, but when it comes to getting news updates and just being in touch with what's going on, I follow Cointelegraph because they have really quick, up-to-date information on what's going on and really great objective reporting. So I would encourage anyone to check it out, to just stay in the loop. And even though this is not a Web3 app, and I do have a love-hate relationship with it, there is still much to be learned on X. So if you would like to learn quickly, just dive headfirst into X, follow a number of large accounts, and hold on for your dear life.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And, everybody, Dayana is actually my inspiration here in the growth within the industry. I think it's an amazing story that within a year, like you've been able to achieve so much. And I love how motivated and structured you are. It's really, you can see that you are a boss girl and you know what you're doing.
Oh, right back at ya.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, well, the last question is what advice would you give to someone who is eager to join the space? And you've already given us so many amazing advice, but maybe you want to say something like to the point. What would you say to all of the people that are, watching the industry, lurking in and thinking, maybe being afraid, maybe being overwhelmed by all the info? What advice would you give to those people?
Yeah, I would say definitely don't be afraid to speak up and get involved. People who are committed to being in crypto and blockchain and Web3, we're resilient people. So even if you get called out on X for saying something stupid, whatever, nobody gives a damn. Like 2 seconds later, it's over. You just pick up and dust yourself off. So I would say definitely follow accounts, make friends. And my personal favorite advice would be to go to events as many and as often as possible. Like I said, over the course of 12 months, I've been to all of these different events. Whether you go as an attendee, whether you apply to help out, whether you apply as a speaker to share some knowledge that you have that might be relevant to the space, I think that it's the fastest and most powerful way for you to build a network because at the end of the day, it's about your network. You can always take a course like SheFi or Bankless Academy or something like that and learn all the technicalities in a couple of weeks. But building these relationships will be the biggest return on your investment. Not to mention, it's the most fun and it feels great. So check out Luma, see what events are near you, and start going, whether that is to meetups or larger events, and just, don't overthink it.
Amazing. That is, I think, the best advice I've heard so far over here. Thank you so much, Diana. It was such a pleasure to speak to you as always. I'm excited to see you at all the events as well. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.